Hello everyone and welcome to another self-playing critique. I saw a comment there that someone wanted to see it. Hopefully there's others that want to see it as well. Regardless, I'm going to give you the good, bad, and ugly of the weekend I was able to get out on this layout. The NXL has moved to just one layout practice anyway, so so after playing on this and also being able to watch some of the games from the NXL, hopefully be able to help you guys out. And a huge thank you to PunishersPB.com for sponsoring this video. Be sure to go over to PunishersPB.com and check out the latest and greatest deals on new and used equipment. Let's go ahead and jump into these games. Okay, so this one, going up into this tower, you have to be careful of the snake side dropping shots over the top from that wing. But what's good is you can come up into this wing and actually be able to do some damage on both sides, really. So you're able to shoot the cross. I can't remember at what point I had played this, so I'm not really sure why I was looking over this way. It ends up working out in the future. So go ahead, and these drop shots are definitely something that's huge. So being able to go ahead and shoot over the top of that brick and also drop into the can. So able to get those drop shots from here. So if you are in the home and you hear that someone is in one of these wings, you want to be careful because they can drop those shots into you. So what I'm trying to do here is just trying to make sure, because I made a mistake earlier, I think I have that footage later on, where I just kind of went instead of trying to confirm. And what happened was there was a player in this back right. So able to go ahead and eliminate that player, and we were able to close out the point there. Now, something I could have done better was definitely go ahead and focus maybe more on the snake side, but I can't remember where it was that we had other people. But at least you see that there's that drop shot. That up and around that I just did there, I think I did take a bounce. So it's going to be risky. There's on this Dorito side, you have a little bit more that can shoot at you off the break that they can actually see you going in. So the snake is going to be a little bit more difficult for... it's going to be a little bit easier to make over to that side just because there aren't as many, like, you can directly see. You can step off from that back center and wrap the back center, so kind of wrap the Dorito side of it and shoot into the snake. There is that shot. Now, what we were doing here is I was trying to shoot off this pin, and it does work okay. Now, there's a player here in this wedge that what he's going to do is go ahead and actually... He's going to go ahead and wrap on the inside of that wedge and shoot that pin. It actually works, and he was shooting some higher grade stuff as well. So I think that even with tournament grade stuff, it would work. We both were doing it, so I don't know what it was, but maybe I was able to add a little bit of paint that helped his paint skip off, or something of that nature. I'm not really sure, but a player went through. I didn't want to confirm it just because I saw someone go through. Doesn't mean that there's necessarily a confirmed kill. So once this player gets eliminated, I think that's when I get on my horse here. But you could hear me say, like, hey, I think we just went and got the snake. So now I can kind of go more heads up. I think I had someone right behind me that was looking over, so that allowed me to just focus on the inside. Now, I knew that there was someone... well, we were able to shoot the Dorito there, but I could feel pressure from the inside, so I didn't want to just go. These gaps are a little bit bigger on this Dorito side, so you want to be maybe a little bit more hesitant to try just to move right away, just because you don't want to get trapped.
I don't know.
So all I'm doing here is just clearing out the side. Ends up, I don't think there was, or no, maybe it was the...
Yeah, snake is dead.
Yeah, that was the game. So... It can be difficult to find all the bodies on this layout. Now, what we were doing here, I think this is where we had someone that was shooting back at the that wrap shot on the snake. So I was shooting back at the home, so that way I was able to put some pressure on that player to help them get out a little bit more. So I'm just trying to listen in here. Staying in this back center, I'm not a huge fan of. In this instance, it actually ended up working out okay. So this was something, all I'm hearing is the kill one, so I'm going to be calling that over. Yeah, obviously getting out. So I was able to just talk, yeah. So we already knew that there was the kill one, and what I can do here is actually watch the snake and make it where they can't surprise people. So from this tower, it's not terrible for that. The reason I'm telling that player to tuck in was just because I wasn't sure if there was a snake or not. Again, someone can get into the someone can get into the snake. I'd rather be posted this way and it be boring than get surprised. That actually did happen on one of the points where I went up right into the 50 brick. So all I'm doing is just putting pressure over that way. There does eventually end up being a player that gets into the snake, but it was later. But it's better to be a little bit more, not lenient, but a little bit more hesitant, I guess you could say, with this, just because you don't want it to be that they catch you by surprise. We were able to clear out the snake, and then that ended up being the game. So yeah, you definitely want to take it a little bit slower. It doesn't need to be a huge rush, you know, to get up to anywhere. Now, this move that I made here, speaking of making a rush, was just because I'm able to now go and shoot this side and make it where I can at least see if they get into the snake. Now, this is a great bunker to be able to do that. It's difficult to have a bounce shot come in unless they get real wide. I think it can bounce off that pin just to the left of me. So you can at least see, like, hey, if this... So, you know, just trying to talk and like, hey, I don't think there's anyone, but, you know, we can still caution it. They'd have to get up into our side, and, well, I guess they could come up over the top of the snake. But, so yeah, so basically I'm just trying to keep pressure on, I'm just trying to keep pressure on this gap so that way the player can't move. And again, this can be kind of boring when you're a 2. You're not always up in the action like a 1 is. You know, someone that's going to be playing front. But this gap right here, if they even try to go over into the snake, you're going to see it, and then you can react. So then it's there's no surprise to if they are in there. Again, it's better to see the player go in than to you know, just kind of hope for the best. I'm trying to tell the player next to me that the can was wrapping, because they sometimes you can go over and shoot over into the player that's wrapping, thinking that they have dominance on you, when in fact it's almost like you planned it and kind of baited them, but you really didn't. All I'm doing here is just making sure that I'm using the field to my advantage so I can get low enough, check off the Dorito side, and then go straight up into this brick. And now I'm able to get a shot in on this can. They try to come up and look on the inside, and I was able to catch the player there. So, and then it was just a matter of, okay, let's wrap and close it out. Ended up just being the Dorito. I actually could have called and said that the snake side was clear. This team that I was helping out, I don't know if they had a snake side clear call or if it was just snake is clear. But whatever your call is, you want to make sure that you're, you know, calling that, because then it's just going to be easier for your guys to be able to make adjustments. Now this is, again, I'm able to put pressure back on this back center. The issue with doing this is that they can shoot up over the top of that brick and drop it into you. So if you feel that pressure, you could always call over to your Dorito player to ask them, hey, you know, shoot back at the home. He's shooting heads up at me, and be able to catch them like that. So they think that they have dominance, but they have to actually tuck in, and that might give you a chance to move up. Now, the issue with this is that if the player goes up on the snake side and goes up into that stand-up wing, you wouldn't be able to see it. So this is just where communication comes in.
What's up? Okay, snake 3! Snake 3!
So I'm just relaying what it is that I'm hearing there, making sure that the players hear what it is that's going on. Yeah, I know I had said that I'm not a huge fan of this back center. If I remember right, if this is the point that I think it was, I had eyes on that Dorito side, so at least I can see, did they make it up into that Dorito or not? So we know at least they're not this far, at least. So ended up being able to shoot the home there, just stuck out a little too far.
Hey, do you want to get out?
So yeah, you can hear me saying like, hey, do you want to move? It's not bad to, if you're playing like a 2 or a 3 position, talk to your front players. Hey, what is it that's holding you in? Can I help you? Ended up being able to shoot the player here.
Get out!
Or is this the one that, yeah, this isn't the one. Pretty sure it broke. I don't know, maybe not, but.
No, Dorito, get out on your loader!
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw it break. Maybe it broke off the bunker, but, you know, so what? There's no there's no no refs. So all I'm doing is just talking. You know, ultimately, if people are cheating, or maybe I completely missed, it could have been totally the case as well. Yeah, so just keeping pressure this way. So if this player does try to move, I'm at least going to see it or eliminate them. So able to eliminate this Dorito, and now you can hear me say you should be able to wrap. They still need to check off to make sure, but I can at least kind of joystick him as a front player and say, hey, you know, I just eliminated this player. See if you can wrap. And okay, what can I do? Because maybe I need to go up to the Dorito side brick, or maybe I need to go and do something else. We end up actually losing this point, which kind of sucks, but so this player came through, and then there was one more in the snake that just moved up. You know, it is what it is, but yeah, now for my snake players, you can run and gun over into the snake one. I did take a bounce there, so it's not a guarantee that you're going to be able to make it in. Now, this is the thing that I really wanted to show you guys. If you stay low enough, depending on how inflated or not inflated those beams are, you can crawl straight up. Even if there's a wedge or a wing or one of the towers there, I think even there was a can in this case. I wanted to see if I could make it because I was pretty sure that I could. So you just stay as low as you can and then move, and that was it. Now, the reason why I stopped here is I thought I heard someone, and there was another player in the snake. So I was just waiting for them, like, okay, if I end up trading, it's not the end of the world. If I end up, you know, doing something where, you know, it is what it is, you know, like things are going to happen. But they had no idea that I was up this far. So you can get really, really sneaky in this snake. So for my snake players, make sure that you're taking advantage of that. Also, you have a lot of beam that you can play with. I ended up picking the wrong time to crawl up because that's when the player came through, and he said that he didn't even realize I was there till he saw me crawling. So, you know, it is what it is, but I wanted to show you guys that. Which also, to the other players, you want it to be that if you are playing this layout, that snake side, if someone goes that way, just assume that they're further up in the snake. Don't let it be that, oh, he's probably just in the snake one. No, you can still go and do damage. So I want to say that I didn't want to move from this back center, and I can't remember why. I want to say, thinking about it, if I remember correctly, that Dorito side tower, you can get some shots in from the snake side, and you're a little bit more protected.
Hey, Dorito 3!
But I can still keep eyes this way, just like that other point. I'm able to go over and shoot that way, and at least keep eyes that way. If a player does try to run my player down, I'm going to have a good chance of being able to eliminate them. It's a little bit further of a shot than is ideal. Maybe if I pushed into that tower, I'd probably be okay. I'd have to look at that. But if you are playing in this kind of a two spot, it is kind of a no man's land running up to that tower. So I can't remember exactly why I didn't go. It ends up working out in the long run here. So I'm just keeping paint in the air, just keeping players honest. Sometimes you get lucky. I am going to get lucky here in a second. When the player decided to move and runs straight into my lane. So I'm just trying to communicate with my players, just saying like, hey, it's also the Dorito 3.
Dorito 1, Dorito 3.
And so I'm just trying to correct them, and I end up being able to shoot, and he ran right into it. So, you know, it happens. So, and I didn't know if it was the Dorito 3 or not. Now, what I should have done was said that, hey, we lost our player on the Dorito side. I know I said it was just us two, and this was definitely a risk to get out wide, but it was just trying to maybe catch them by surprise. It ends up working out, actually. So...
That's not a hit.
Yeah, this guy said that it was a hit in my knee. I was like, no one shot at me. But it's all good. Again, like if you get hit or whatever, cheating at practice is not going to help you at the event. So it's better just to take your lumps, and that's that. As I'm moving up, this player tried to move up into the middle, so it was something that I was able to get that elimination. And then it ended up being just the snake. So I'm just trying to slowly come up and get the edge on him. And then once I saw a little bit of him, just shoot into him and get that elimination and close out the point. So talk. You can still win even if you're down bodies on this field. It can be difficult, but yeah. This up and over worked fantastic, by the way. You're able to see what happened on the Dorito side and then move over. So you can use this as a secondary. Now this one, I'm not a huge fan of how I played this, to be honest. So just where I was at, I mean, coming up into this snake 3, the reason why I put this in, I made a dumb move. I should have just gotten down on my gut when he didn't look at me and crawl right up into the 50 snake. Worst comes to worst, they find me and I trade with the player. But what happens is I got snapped out, and that was just not smart. So be it. It's all good. Now this up and over works pretty well also. Now you have to be careful, but you do have a great shot into this snake to make it where it's going to be really difficult for them to make it into the snake if they're not there already. So you just have an option with this. I wouldn't do it every time because they'll be able to pick up on you doing that. Now the player that moved out to this Dorito side, I moved out wide so that way I could try to catch them when they moved or tried to maybe snap out on the tape, just to try to take advantage of things. But
hey, Dorito 3 or Dorito 4, I'm not sure.
So I'm just trying to, you really want to try to use names as much as possible. Like I said, I jumped in with Templar here in Florida because I wanted to get in and play, but also did sort of a little clinic because they're going to be on this layout as well in a future event. But yeah, if you can use names, always do that because it's just going to kind of, their ears are going to perk up a little bit more whenever you do something like that. So yeah, so now I'm just trying to kind of probe, just try to see what it is that is going on. And yeah, just communicate. I can always be talking more. I'm never going to say that I'm talking enough. I thought I shot him there, but it's all good. Yeah, so now that I'm dominant, I'm just going to try to make sure that I'm staying dominant. And then he snapped out into my lane. So, yeah. So if you have that dominance, keep it as much as you can. That drop shot into there, if you're in that back corner in the Dorito side, just be careful. They do have that shot in there. So yeah. Now this run, I think I did take a bounce going up. So yeah, it's I wouldn't guarantee that that's a good one. But I was able to make it only because it didn't break. Yeah, you can get wide on the players and be able to do some damage while you're up in the Dorito side. Of course, once you can wrap more too, it helps always. Now that bounce shot off that pin goes into that snake 2 pretty well, and then this player actually said that he was like, I don't know why I decided to do this, but he backed up to try to shoot at me, and I already had the dominance, so I'm not going to come off of it, so I was able to get the elimination. Staying low on this Dorito side can help you at least with some drop shots, but there are these cross shots that happen in the field, so you don't want it to be that you're like, oh, I for sure have this because Greg said it in a video. You still want to be smart.
There's something in the middle.
So yeah, so coming out into I don't know why I'm not talking. All I said was something in the middle. That was really bad. So yeah, hey, I can learn from this too, right? Doesn't matter that I played pro for 5 seasons or whatever. Yeah, why I didn't call that? Oh, I think this is when it was just me. Maybe that's why I didn't say anything. So it ended up that it came down to a one-on-one. I think maybe that's why I wasn't talking. I'm gonna go with that. So I knew it was the back center. Or no, I didn't know. That's when I found out that it was the back center. So I was making sure that's where he was at, and then I assumed, okay, he probably moved because I had to duck low and just kind of keeping eyes up, and then I think I saw him go into this tower and eliminated the player there. So so be it. You know, that's just how paintball goes sometimes. But yeah, thank you so much, guys, for watching. Thank you again to PunishersPB.com for sponsoring this video. Guys, please go and support those that support the channel. Punishers is awesome. I've worked with them before. And yeah, so I guess I'll see you guys all in the next video. And as always, remember, watch, learn, win. Thanks.